For the first time in a year and a half, realize how long that is. Samoa Joe is gonna get back in the ring. We about to have some fun. Let us take in this happiness and press forward and get down to business. My name is Jordan Moser, and this is your NXT Recap and Review. First up in the night, we got the tag team match between Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher against Oney Lorcan and Pete Dunne. This was as physical as you would expect a matchup containing these four to be from the onset, from the jump, just physicality, throwing it at each other. All four men just going at it with strikes, submissions, slaps, everything that they could throw at each other, they was throwing it. We do see Tommaso and Thatcher a little bit earlier on in this matchup kind of getting the upper hand, especially on the outside, and doing their little club and blows in the ring. I love it when they do it at the same time. They eventually get a hot tag in as Pete Dunne and Oney Lorcan take over for a little bit, but once Ciampa backs in, he's running it like a storm, and we see him and Thatcher just slapping each other to fire each other up. It was amazing and beautiful to see. But as they're kind of taking control, Tommaso Ciampa has an armbar on Pete Dunne in the middle of the ring, and we see a familiar face show up on the outside. We see Ridge Holland make his return to NXT. He blindsides Ciampa without the ref seeing it on the outside, and that gets Ciampa distracted. That allows Pete Dunne to hit that bitter end for the 1-2-3 and the win. Oh my gosh, I love that Ridge Holland is back. He's looking fitter and better than ever, and I love every second of it. They eventually attack both Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher after the matchup, just laying waste to them as all three men stand tall to end the segment off. Very fun stuff, very fun and physical matchup. I love when these four men, they're going to get together a lot more in the future, and I can't wait for it because it's bolstering the tag team division. It is bringing another person back into the fold who is going to make big waves in NXT, and you never know, maybe Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher might bring another person into the fold, and if they do, I don't know who that is, but it's going to be fun regardless. So I'm looking forward to that. Everything that was done in this opening segment was magnificent. We see next up, Samoa Joe is here. He is coming to the ring with what looks like a contract. He gets in, sets the table up and everything like that. He's looking for Cross, but what he gets is Mr. Regal. He comes out after being demolished by Cross last week. He gets in the ring and he's angry, and as Samoa Joe says, he wants to fire Karrion Kross for putting his hands on the balls. You don't do that, cuz. You don't put on No, you don't do that to Mr. Regal. But Joe is like, hey, bro, I got a better idea. It's a three-step process. I'm gonna lead you through it. 1, I quit. Here's my resignation. Take that, take it, put it where the sun don't shine, because we'll never see that again. 2, you sign this. I am now an active competitor back in NXT. Thank Lord, I've been missing Samoa Joe in this ring. Regal signs the papers. He is now an active competitor. Now the last thing here, sign the contract. Samoa Joe versus Karrion Kross for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver 36. And Regal signs that as well, and it's official. We got our main event for TakeOver coming up in about 3-4 weeks. Oh, Lordy, this is what I wanted. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I love that Samoa Joe's getting back in the ring after a year and a half of being off. I'm glad that he's cleared. I'm glad that he's healthy and that he's able to go back to doing what he loves. That a young man, I think he's like 41, 42. He ain't slowing down yet. He ain't done yet. Come on, bro. Let's continue to do this. So I'm glad that he's getting back in the ring. I don't know how I feel about Karrion Kross being his first matchup back in a little bit, so we'll see how that kind of goes. But everything about this was perfect. Definitely glad that Samoa Joe is back and that Regal is along with it as well. So loved every second of this for sure. Next up, we have the next first round matchup in the NXT Breakout Tournament. We got Carmelo Hayes facing the big bad Josh Briggs. We see at the beginning of this matchup, it's really just a matchup of strength and speed, as we usually see with big man versus little man matchups. We do see, though, Carmelo Hayes really take Briggs off his feet fairly easily. I didn't think that would be that easy to kind of take Briggs off his feet. He's 6'8", 290, big boy, but Carmelo Hayes does his job pretty well. We even see after the commercial break, we see the dude, Duke Hudson, come out on commentary, just cool as a freaking cucumber. Like I'm gonna get to that later. But yeah, we see the end of this matchup. Pretty solid stuff. We see Josh Briggs hit a nice little choke slam. We don't see a lot of people hitting choke slams nowadays. All those people are gone. But Carmelo Hayes is able to kick out at 2 to my surprise, because it was a very nice looking choke slam. But Carmelo Hayes does eventually come back later on. We see him go to the top rope and hit that nice leg drop from the top rope onto the back of the head of Josh Briggs. 1, 2, 3, and that is the win for Carmelo Hayes. He is moving on to fake Duke Hudson in the semifinals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. Very fun matchup. Carmelo Hayes, for the most part, just doing everything he can. I didn't really take to Josh Briggs at all. He's a big dude. He's very imposing, but didn't really in the ring do a lot for me, frankly, except for that chokeslam, because it did look fairly nice. But yeah, good word for Carmelo Hayes, and we're going on to see him face Duke Hudson. I don't think he's gonna win that, frankly. In my opinion, like, Duke Hudson, if you heard him on commentary, if you saw the look, if you saw the matchup against Jiro, bro, like, this dude is a star. I'm not gonna front with you. And I don't usually cater to, like, oh my gosh, he's the big man, he looks good, oh my gosh, everything like that. So that just makes a star, because it doesn't always work that way. It freaking works that way with this one. It does not make sense, but he's just so good. It's so clean. I love it. So if he doesn't win the breakout tournament, I would be very surprised, because he is definitely my front runner. But yeah, looking forward to see him and Hayes kind of go at it though. Next up, we got Raquel Gonzalez, the NXT Women's Champion, and Dakota Kai coming out to address the Universe and the NXT Women's Division. And Raquel is basically saying, bro, I don't beat everybody. Like, she starts speaking in Spanish. She's just telling us, I'm like, ooh, mommy, you got it. But like, who was there left for her to face? Dakota Kai gets the mic, says the same thing. You beat Rhea Ripley. You beat Io Shirai. You beat everybody who's been placed in front of you. Who is there that is woman enough to step up to the challenge? She feigns for a little bit, and like, nobody comes out. And she's like, yeah, this is the shorty. This her right here. Takeover 36 coming. And who knows who you're going to fight, but I got your back anyway. And we see Raquel kind of celebrating on the top rope and everything like that. Yay, yay, cool. And then out of nowhere, Dakota Kai boots her in the face, lays her out with that boot in the corner, and holds that NXT Women's Championship high, ready to take that at 36 at TakeOver. And she gets down. She's like, bro, I'm woman enough. And just, oh yes, I've been waiting for this. I'm not gonna lie, I love the idea of Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez just being a team like forever, because they have very good chemistry. They seem like very good friends with each other, and that's nice. But Dakota Kai turning on her was needed and necessary, especially for her, as Raquel Gonzalez just ups in stock. She got to up in stock too. She can't just stay stagnant, can't just stay there. She got to up in stock too. So this was beautifully done. I love the fact that they're facing it at 36. It's just a culmination of everything that's been going on for like the past year and a half, and I'm loving it. So continue with this, please. Make Dakota Kai feel like a threat, because she is. I love Dakota Kai to death. So this matchup at TakeOver should be bananas. I'm looking forward to this most definitely. Next up, we have a short tag match. We got the KCs, Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter, facing off against Frankie Monet and Jessica Maya of the Robert Stone brand. Yeah, very short matchup, very disjointed for the most part. We see as Frankie Monet gets in, she kind of starts to take over a little bit near the end of this matchup. We do see as she's kind of in control pretty much for the most part. Robert Stone gets up on the apron. He's like, hey, like, go for the pin, go for the pin. He throws his handbag, the handbag that he had at Frankie Monet, and she is like, bro, what are you doing? As everybody else was like, bro, what are you doing? This allows the KCs to take control. They get Casey Catanzaro into the matchup. Now she tags in, they basically maneuver, get Frankie Monet into that neck breaker 450 splash combo. And that is 1, 2, 3. I think that's the first pinfall loss for Frankie Monet in NXT, as the Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter come out with the victory. And we see Frankie Monet extremely pissed with Robert Stone on the outside. So we'll see how that comes to develop in the next couple of weeks if they continue to work together. But yeah, very short matchup. Don't really feel anything about it, but definitely weird that the first pinfall loss for Frankie Monet, as she's been kind of seen as kind of a big deal since he's come to NXT, just taking in this very short tag team match. So we'll see how that kind of continues later on. But yeah, I didn't think this would be the way they would kind of do it, of course. Next up, we got another tag team match. Ashanti the Adonis and Top Dollar of Hit Row going up against Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel of Imperium. We do see just a very cut and dry tag team match. Nothing really to go home about. Didn't really get out of that second gear. Imperium did play their part though, especially Marcel Bartel looking very cut and lean, as Wade Barrett described on commentary. He definitely got into shape. But we do see Ashanti the Adonis play the face in peril for most of this matchup, especially in the second leg. But Top Dollar came in like a tank with that hot tags, bowling everybody over, getting rid of those two members of Imperium, just taking them down. We do see near the end of this matchup, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza of Legado del Fantasma, they come out, they push Swerve, who was out there just at ringside, into the ring post and just distract the rest of Hit Row. We do see Top Dollar come out as Santos Escobar made his way out as well, and he's just distracting him. He's like, I ain't even do nothing, man, I ain't even do nothing. But this allows Imperium to take advantage. They take Adonis, hit him with that power bomb uppercut combo for the 1-2-3 and the win before Top Dollar can get back in the ring. And at this point, Legado starts to put the boots to Top Dollar as well, just getting him in the corner until Isaiah Swerve Scott eventually recovers and grabs a chair, starts wielding and throwing that thing until they run Legado off. But yeah, very nice interactions between Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma. I'm loving their chemistry and everything going on there so far. But for the matchup, just very cut and dry. Like I said, didn't really make an indent or anything like that, but definitely serviceable between both teams, of course. And last up in our main event, we got the thick boy, Colossal Bronson Reed going up against Adam Cole. We see Cole's objective very early on in this matchup. He is going for the knee of Bronson Reed, and he is cutting that joint down as much as he can, especially in the first leg of this matchup. But we see Bronson Reed, as he does, eventually start to come back, just using that strength to his advantage. At one point, just throwing chops effortlessly, consistently in the ring on Adam Cole in that corner. We do see, after a bit of a distraction from the referee, Cole actually hits a kick, and he goes up top for that Panama Sunrise and hits it for the 1-2. He kicks out at 2, Bronson Reed does, and he eventually starts to come back as well. Eventually hits a clothesline and a nice little power bomb. He is going up top for that Tsunami Splash, but he misses. He doesn't hit Adam Cole. He moves out the way. Cole eventually hits a super kick and then hits that last shot as well for the 1-2-3 and the win for Adam Cole. He's defeated Bronson Reed. Some people think it's his send-off. I don't know if that is the case, but if it is, Godspeed, my friend. We'll see you. Hopefully not get ruined on the main roster. But we do see after the matchup, as Cole is celebrating, he does the bae, and then Kyle O'Reilly comes out of nowhere, hits him with the steel chair, clocks him very numerous times with the steel chair, and at this point he takes the steps out, unjiggles him in the corner, removes the first set of steps, and he goes ahead and hits that brain buster on the steel steps as Adam Cole did to him in the past. And he just leaves him laying, and he is frustrated and seething as the show goes off the air. Of course, we were going to get Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole at TakeOver 36. It looks like that's the trajectory that they're going, of course. Hey, I don't know what type of matchup it's going to be. They already did unsanctioned. They already did just a regular stand-up match. My guess is that it's going to be last man standing, but I've also thought about as well, I've had this thought numerous times as well, what if they did a Hell in a Cell match? This would be the perfect feud to bring the Hell in a Cell match to NXT. I think they could pull it off. I don't think that's going to happen just because it's in the CWC as well, but that would be awesome if they brought Hell in a Cell there. I'm not going to front with you. That would be awesome. But yeah, very nice match between Cole and Reed as well, though. If this is Reed's send-off, you've done a beautiful job. North American champion, you're going to kill it on the main roster. I don't think he's leaving yet, though. We're going to see what happens. But for Cole and O'Reilly moving towards TakeOver, this was definitely great stuff, and we see Kyle kind of descending to madness over the next coming weeks going to TakeOver 36. And that is it for this episode of NXT. All in all, a very fun show. Very much so in the ring, an improvement from the last couple of weeks that they've had, especially now that they're in high gear going into TakeOver. Everything on this show was pretty much decent to fairly good, mainly. And I love that. I love that about NXT. Even the backstage stuff, like the stuff with Cameron Grimes and LA Knight, and that's eventually reaching its boiling point as well, to the stuff going on with The Way leading into next week. Everything on this show was pretty fun. I enjoyed this show a lot, most definitely. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks leading into TakeOver 36. But that is going to be it from me. You will see more videos throughout the week. But that is me. I am out. Peace. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the summer. Enjoy the sun rays and everything like that. I will see you soon.